Okay, I got frozen out on the last one. I'm really tired. So I'm just going to throw some stuff at you for a little bit. I already showed you this picture once. Don't you like it? You see the rainbows that are out there? I'm thinking if they're not your rib cage. You know what I'm saying? Because they show that in the cards, and I know it's sons. Anyways, uh, you see the Jesus fish in there, and you see the diamonds, and they're diamond rings. You ever take a look at that? If that was standing up, it wouldn't be a fish; it'd be a diamond ring. Okay, and then you see all the outlined are DWs and WVs, because this whole world. I mean, take a close look at it. I mean, take a good look at it. They're all tilted on each other. There's one tilted to the right and one tilted to the left. They're all like bricks tilted on each other. Okay, because it's all slants. They're all cubes. They're set up in rows of 3 by 3, and then 3 high, and then they make the Rubik's Cube out of it. So if you see really closely, um, I'm going to try and see right here. See the way it's slanted? There's a brick there. Because I didn't make them all the same size, you don't see it. But it also looks like a bat or a butterfly. Also, these are what you see is if you look on radio, you'll see there'll be a wave in here and it'll be like vibrations. So this can be like for sound, you know. That's what that can be. So I don't know where that is, but I do know if I saw it, and I do know what's happening. One of the things I brought up before is the pig. Look at the pig. Why do they call the dice pigs? Do you really know? Well, I looked into it, and guess what? I worked with a couple of 100,000 pigs, at least. And when you look at the pig, you don't see in his nose that far. You see, and then it's dark, and you don't know. That's the black hole. You got 2 dice, you got 2 black holes, you got 1 round world like the pig's nose. Flat like the pig's nose. That's what the dice is all about. And the snout of the pig is hard like a rock. You ever try to play with the end of it? It's so cool. It's almost like playing with an elephant's, what do you call it, trunk. So now you can relate the pig to the elephant. Because he's got 2 holes up there. And it's hairy. Oh my God, elephant starts with an E. Oh my God, that's God. Oh, for sure. He's heaven's God. It's an elephant. The electronic gray E-world elephant, number 5. Yes, sirree. God knows how to play, doesn't he? When you can see as deep inside as I feel I can see, or into the realm that I have been inside lately, there's many things that you can see. But to add to that, the other one is this in your eye. Okay? That's your eye. There's a little guy in here, and I'll say it 1 tape, and I'll say it 2 tapes, and I'll say it 3 tapes. Because I believe it once, and I believe it twice, and I believe it again. That X in your eye is playing tricks with you. And let me see if I can explain it, how part of it works. I don't know if you got to see my little man with the beaver or the raccoon, the conniving raccoon on his head. Okay? There's different kinds of men, there's different kinds of animals. Well, each animal represents a different kind of man. Well, if you see the leaf in the center, that's the Indian leaf. If you see where it goes down into his feet, where it seems there's a mustache there, well, there is a mustache there. So what I want to tell you now is that, oh yeah, here's the rest of it. Here's the rest of it. Do you want to see how it works? Okay. There it is. You got 1 line this way, you got 1 line that way. You put them together, you got the X, okay? Now that X is in the middle of your eye, how you see. That dot is the black eye that sees this X that was once divided up by these 2 here. One of these is a representative of the letter N, in which would be the 14th letter. 1 and 4 is the 5th passage. The other one represents the letter Z. Okay, and the passage of the letter Z is 2 and 8 of the heaven. 2 and 6, sorry, of the heaven, which is the Z. You put them on top of each other, you have the father and the mother crossing the vision, and you're looking out. And who's deciding? You all get to see now, but only one puts it together. You see, because you're made from your mother and your father. Both these lines are crossed. That create you. When you die, this line here right? Goes out your ear and back into heaven to join the heavens. So you're not going to be with that mother side, but you will take with who you are. But you don't need the other side anymore because you're an I. You're an I with a dot. You're no longer the capital I. You can stand alone with your I and your line and your dot. And the reason for that is because this is you. Your father, your mother, and you standing straight up between. There's the dot. That's the triangle of your life. That's the pool game. 15 balls, 7 and 7, and 2 balls in between, which is Jupiter and the Sun. There's 3 on that side, but it ends up to look like this, the game. There's your 5 dice. Okay? You're actually trapped. There you are. There's another dot of you. That's your dot, your closed dot. And you're trapped in there. You're trapped in this world. You got to go around with the other 3. You are 3 parts. Okay? And I'm going to give it to you easy. Between the spirit, the angle, and the man, 1, 6, 2, 5, 3, 4, that's partly, mostly of who you are. Okay? Those are your angles. Your 6. Okay? Wow. How was I going to explain that to you? Let me turn over the paper here. Yeah, so you're 6, and you're 6 because the east and the west, 3 islands and 3 islands is 6. I don't know why it works that way, but that's the way. That's the way I know it. I'll probably get better with time. So you got now the X. Now what happens? I'm going to take it out of pen right now and do this for you. What happens if the 2 of them come together? You get a V, and that's a sound. That's for valet. That's for jack. Now what happens if you come and look? The line for the female, the Z, is longer than the other one. You now have beta creating in this world because there's the extra line. It's extended. She has now connected and taken up a position of alpha in the one position ready for the creation with this Y. Because you do know that when you have a we or a B or, you know, the Roman numeral effect, it's in many letters, but we don't see it. Look at the W. It goes this way, it goes this way, it goes this way. Chip, chop, chip, chop. Isn't that the way the Chinese come up? Chip, chop, chip, chop. Because that's how we connected. You put the N, you put the Z. You put the N, you put the Z. You put the N, you put the Z. 144 cycles like that over a period of 760 years, plus the final countdown for the game of Jeu 33. 5775. 5 and 7 is 12. 1 and 2 is 3. 5 and 7 is 12. 2 and 1 is 3. 33. Jesus Christ. Why is it Jesus Christ? Because that's when these 3 poles and these 3 poles are aligned, direct. That's when the train stations meet. It's another way of saying it. But Jesus Christ is like this, plus 5.5, which means you're in the 5 hole. You're exactly where you have to be at the train station in that year. And guess what? We're all invited. Some of us might not want to go. But before that happens, if you think or you don't think if there's any evil angels on, anyways, no. Before I go there, I told you about the dice. Well, that's sort of a pig, or if I want to flip it upside down, okay, it looks like some kind of spaceship this way. It can be a lamb. I can design the letters to be lambs and spaceships and all these cartoons that they do on TV. Well, not all of them, but a good part of them. They all come from our letters. Different ways people that make a letter, and then depending on how they make the letter is how you can add on to the letter. So the square letters are the easiest ones to do for me. And a lot of them seem to always turn into clams. And I can't do the clam here because, you ever see the way a clam looks? You ever see the way a clam looks? Well, it's almost like a dairy cow, the way they designed the dairy cow. Anyways, if you had to think of who was God, well, guess what? A zebra is black and white, and it's of this world. It's the black and white of this world. Every animal is a description, every color. Anyways, I'm going to do the telephone really quickly. Okay, let me light up my cigarette. They might cancel me out anyways. The telephone. Anytime you see an X in the top left-hand corner, or in fact any corner, there's a reason for it. We're going to do the telephone. Older telephones don't have anything on the 1 key. In fact, every single day, maybe next week or this week, I'm going to do something specific. We start at the 2. ABC. 2 is ABC on the phone, total 6. 3, DEF. Add the numbers and letters, 6. The 4, GHI, comes to 24, 2 and 4, 6. Okay? JKL, 10, 11, 12, 33. Okay? Equals 6. But the difference with this 33, now these are all angles. The Jack, the King, and the L is an angle, because the L is a representation of the Queen, because it's the 12th letter and the 12th card, the angle of the Queen, the dame, the beaver, dame, and dame means queen in French. Okay, so we have all these 6s. So when you total up 2, 3, and 4, and 5 together, okay, you get 6666 expression. When you're getting the expression, man, you're up in heaven. No one's going to tell you down on this earth besides myself. Okay, now we go over to the 6th letter. We did the 6th letter, MNO, 6. Then we go to the 7th letter, PQRS. We have 4 on there. Every other one has 3. Sure. God crosses east-west, north-south, southeast, southwest, northeast, northwest. He passes to all of them. Except for one, the beta. He would get 8, but he can't go to beta, because he already owns it. So we get 7. That's the way it works. It's really funny. I just thought of it now. So the total count for the 7 number is 70, and God is 7, and it's all his islands. And he's got his number. Now 8 is special. TUV. Add up the 63, which is the 63 moons on Jupiter. Okay, the birth of the coming, change to the world, from he who comes. TUV, Tav, Mazel Tav, Vat. Okay. 6 and 3 is 9, talking about the 9 islands. It's 8, talking about the 9 islands, okay? But when you come to 9, you have WXYZ, it totals 98. 9 and 8 is 17. 17, 1 and 7 is 8. Now you're talking about the heaven islands. So first the 8 talks about the 9, and then the 9 talks about the 8. Well, you can't talk about yourself, so you have to somebody else to express. So you get a total of 8. So now we're going to go to do the addition of the number and the letter count. The 2 has an 8 count. 2, beta, 8. The 3 is a creation number. It's an odd number, and it adds up to a total of 9. And that is the birth. DEF. Angel, E-world, man. Angel in the E-world of man. That's us. I told you, there's a part of us on that side who we actually are, plus the connection up there. So that has to turn around this way while we're going around this way to keep the ball always connected, because you disconnect the ball, my friend. You know what happens when the bulb goes out? The light goes out. All expressions count. Every expression has a meaning, and it has a meaning because there was a placement in history for it. Anyways, so now we get the 9 reflecting the 8. We know the pig we're not allowed to eat it because of its 2 noses, and we need those 2 dice in life. Why? We need the 1 eye going up this way, and we need the 1 eye going this way. I don't know how to explain the eye, but here, you see this? You play t-ball. You know what t-ball is? Well, that's the eye. You're both going around the same ball. He's going around this way with the ball, you're going around this way with the ball. You're all on the eyeball. You get it? The eyeball, we're all on the stick. I don't know how to, I mean, here, look, this is it, right? But let's say it's like this. I can't even explain it. We're multi. There's one ball, and you can go around this way with it. On the other level, they can go this way with it. On the other level, they can go this way with it.